what I wanted to ask you in the conversation before, where I went more into detail on these things, was I mean, what do you feel about the meaning crisis? Do you feel like you feel that, and do you feel like you see that?
Well, I think for feeling it, yeah, like we talked before, I felt kind of the same kind of isolation you're kind of talking about. Uh, it's just a sense that we're like in a sea of people, but you kind of feeling kind of like we're in on our own island, um, in a way. And I think it's just kind of like an everyday disconnect. So like people don't really, at least here, people don't really say hi to each other, or if I'm at the gym, people have their headphones on, stuff like that. So just a lot of like things kind of showing that we're not really interested, I guess, in in connecting or interacting with each other, even like on a minimal level, like a simple hello or things like that.
Yeah, I
Um,
think disconnectedness is a lot of it, and sort of distraction. You kind of mentioning maybe you brought technology into it, and I think that helps a lot of us
mhm,
be distracted. And also, we kind of, you mentioned interest, and maybe people are more deeply interested in sort of what they're pursuing online, maybe
mhm.
than sometimes in the random people around them.
Yeah. Um, and I'm starting to think that maybe it's not all like this interest too, but if like we've been hearing about anxiety rates shooting up. So as someone with
Yeah,
anxiety, I know one of the best ways to like not have to talk to people is to have my earphones on,
yeah,
like at the
yeah.
gym.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I that caught my ear too when you said lack of interest. I don't think people aren't interested in talking to others, but maybe they're scared to, and maybe
Mhm,
they're distracted, and maybe they don't have the skills to, or
mhm,
although I think there is a place for in crowded public areas to not
mhm.
necessarily be,
Yeah. Yeah.
communicating with everybody. You don't
Yeah.
necessarily need that, but you do
Yeah.
need connection, deep connection, and meaningful, and several connections, and then like less meaningful, less super deep, but important and meaningful acquaintanceships and things like
Mhm,
that too. And I do think,
mhm,
yeah, I think the data shows that people have less of that now than they used to.
mhm,
And it seems to be a lot of the cause for a lot of that mental illness and
mhm,
loss of purpose and things.
mhm. Yeah. Yeah. So like I guess one idea for the question you asked is it's kind of going back what we hear all the time, touch grass. So like have a time and place for like when we're, wearing our headphones or kind of being kind of withdrawing into whatever technology we have on hand with us.
Yeah, yeah, I don't
Yeah.
like doing that. I don't do that. I noticed in college people started to do that, and I never wanted to do that. I didn't even want to wear sunglasses. I don't want to shut myself off from others. I feel like that's almost rude. I want
Mhm.
to be somewhat receptive.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.